ever seen a bunny with boobs?
The Lola.
Doesn't that do something for you?
No.
Liar.
You're a liar.
Liar. Hey, I know. I'll turn my trusty frying pan into a drying pan. Mine is a little bit too deep, almost.
I think I'm too nasally for Brock's voice, too.
Nasally. But then he's also Maximilian Pegasus as well. Woo, Yugi boy.
He's so good, dude.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Life is Daijoubu, episode 49. My name is Cole. I'm here. I'm kind of the host, I guess. And I'm joined by Skylar over on the end of the table.
I'm really tired today. We're recording early.
This is a little bit of an earlier podcast. And I got Thane in my bed.
What?
How'd you do that? How did you win that dialogue? Like, what was the
Minecraft.
dialogue tree to get to that?
So it's a couple different tree. Yeah, it's the
Minecraft.
secret tree where you do have to punch a little bit of the trees like in Minecraft. But after you punch a couple ones, the fifth dialogue option pops up and then says, "I'll join you," and then it's referring to the bed.
That's classic. I should probably play that game again.
Okay.
Just to see.
Don't worry, Thane. You're not in my bed. I'm in your bed. We've got a show for you today. Before we talk about anime, let's do the classic not talk about anime moment. I want to talk about shipping, like things being shipped through the mail. Okay? So
Oh, I thought you were going to talk about anime, like character shipping. It's like, okay.
who's your OTP, Thane? Your one true pair.
Yugi and Joey.
Yugi and Joey. Nice. Good pair. Mine's Kaiba and the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Mine's Luffy and meat.
Food.
Yeah.
My first thought was there must be some characters named Meat in One Piece that I just don't know about.
Let's be honest. It's the true power couple is Naruto and Sasuke. Okay, you can't beat that.
Oh, dude, they even kissed episode 2. It's great.
Yeah.
So, shipping, yes. Probably about, I want to say almost a month ago at this point, I ordered a vinyl collection for Persona 5. And for the longest time, it just didn't say it was being shipped. And then I think it was I want to say Friday, literally 2 days ago, saying, hey, we shipped your Persona 5. And it came Saturday. So literally in the span of 1 day, it shipped. So it took them forever to actually get it shipped, but once it shipped, it shipped. Meanwhile, I've got this manga buy from this company called In Stock Trades that I purchased probably more than a month ago. Now, granted, they did their whole right stuff thing where they sent me an early portion of it and then the other portion later. But because I was talking with the guy and he was had to substitute one of the things for me. And he shipped it out and the tracking has 2 weeks of shipping. And I'm not going to get it until next Thursday. Mind you, they're both United States Postal Service, USPS.
Is it coming to this address or the new one?
The new one.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's just interesting though that it's do they specifically pay for the faster shipping and not tell me, and then they just do it, or does the guy go, okay, make this go as slow as possible? I'd love this thing to just be there in 2 weeks. I think it'd be really cool.
I think that paying for the shipping has something to do with it, but also. Is specifically for the vinyl. To me, what it sounds like is they told you, yeah, we shipped it, but it was they told you that late.
Oh,
they had shipped it a couple days prior.
That could make sense. But I mean, the tracking starts on that Friday though.
Then that's crazy. They must have paid for expedited shipping or something.
Because I didn't. I just paid normal shipping. It was it started in Los Angeles as well, or L.A. area, California somewhere, but. I found that very interesting. It's been very interesting over the past 6 years of watching different speeds of shipping times. We're at a time where nowadays you can buy something on Amazon and get it the next day if you really want it.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think that shipping, in my brain anyway, has always been an anomaly as well, and also hurts my brain. I feel bad for people that run warehouses and are planning out all these shipments because I think it has to do with load size on the trucks, right?
Yeah.
And it depends on different kinds of stops. And I think they've got it down to almost an exact science. But I also learned that the last, what do they call it? The last mile or something? Basically from the trucks drive into a main location, and then from this main location, they have people that they've contracted out that get like vans or their own cars, and then they drive Amazon packages. And then sometimes they do it through USPS as well. So,
Thane, do you think you could be a mailman?
No.
Why not?
It's too complicated.
it's just crazy taxi, but instead of picking up people and taking them places, you just bring them boxes.
Speaking of Crazy Taxi, today we're going to be talking about ODDTAXI as an anime. We're not going to get to that just yet, though, but when we do, we'll do full spoilers. We're going to talk about everything. And a little tidbit, I found out there was a movie.
Yeah, it's a summary movie.
It's a summer movie, but the ending has more
Yeah,
context.
I looked up the
so
ending.
I watched it as well. And so,
Just the ending.
yeah.
You guys will have to explain it.
We'll
to
explain it when we get there.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's talk about our seasonal anime. Before seasonal anime, we do have some news stories to talk about. We can quickly run through. We kind of just grabbed these on the fly. I honestly haven't been hearing much anime news over the past couple of weeks. So this will be a bit rough sketch on the fly. There we go. I like that one. On the fly. All right, first thing we got is the most notorious talker runs the world's greatest clan. It's an anime that's being adapted probably from a light novel. Does this say? It does say a light novel. I don't know anything about it. It looks like the classic black-haired shonen protagonist.
Is that a girl?
Oh. Could be. It's going to be directed by the dude that did JoJo, Diamond is Unbreakable.
Wow.
Interesting. I don't think this tells anything about the show, though, does it?
Staff members. No, it's not anyone I heard of.
I think you're right, I think that is a girl.
Or just a really hot boy.
Yeah, a really hot dude.
Could be a really, really hot boy. Let's turn that audio off. We're going to throw up the trailer for half a second just to see if we can see a picture of this person. All right, I'm watching this. Let's be honest. When it comes out, I'm watching it.
It looks like peak trash.
It looks like peak trash thing. You got it right. That's exactly what it looks like. I think it's still ambiguous. I still don't think we can tell from any of these shots.
I'm saying hot boy.
Yeah, it looks like.
You're saying hot boy?
I'm saying it's a hot
looks...
boy. But that shot looked like a girl.
I'm going to say girl. As people who have no idea about the show, there's our quick synopsis. Yeah. It looks like some peak trash that I will probably be watching when it comes out. All right, next up is the Yuri on Ice movie, Ice of Adolescence. The film, the movie, is being canceled. So if you were looking forward to the Yuri on Ice movie, I am sorry to announce to you that it is going to be canceled. How long has this been in production, do you know?
For a while. I can't remember when it started.
Maybe like since the end of the anime?
Yeah.
Well, was it Mappa making it?
Yeah, it was Mappa.
How big is the fan base? Because I'd be curious as to read the Twitter comments.
Okay, let's click the Twitter.
That sounds fun.
Is this the original tweet? Yeah, probably. How do I work you, Twitter? Oh, it's gonna get mad at me for not signing in. Can I look at the comments? It won't even let me look at the comments because Twitter's a terrible website. Never mind.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Twitter,
Sky.
yeah.
No Twitter comments for
Twitter
you.
Sucks.
Twitter's terrible. All right, moving on. We've got the classic beat 'em up Golden Axe gets a 10-episode animated series. Drum roll. At Comedy Central. Aren't you excited for this, Skylar? I know how much of a Golden Axe fan you are.
Yeah, I'm glad that Golden Axe and Tosh.0 can be on the same.
Though Tosh.0's gone. It's been gone for years.
I'm glad Golden Axe and
South Park
can be on the same. Sounds great.
So it looks, just quickly glancing at this, it's looking like it's going to be the creator of Star Trek Lower Decks and American Dad. So it's definitely not an anime. I'm surprised it popped up on the Crunchyroll News website.
Well, it is a Japanese video game.
I guess that is true, yeah. So I bet it's going to be classic dumb comedy, but with like big strong men and big strong women killing things.
Do you think we're getting to a point where
Danny Pootie's going to be... That guy hasn't been in stuff for a while.
He was in Avatar.
Oh, he was?
Yeah, he
Oh,
was the
wow.
mechanist.
Oh, mechanist?
The mechanist.
Is that how they pronounce
That's
it?
exactly how they pronounce
Oh
it.
my God.
Even in the original show.
So it's like a person that works on mechs.
Makes machines, makes
It's a
gizmos.
mechanist. It's
I think you're just
Mechanist.
emphasizing different parts of the word.
I've never heard anybody ever pronounce it as mechanist. I've heard mechanic.
mechanic.
I've never heard mechanist. That's
What
a
the
new
hell
way
is
to
a
pronounce the word.
mechanist?
A mechanist is like someone who invents things
Oh.
and like creates
I think
mechanical devices.
It just depends on how you emphasize the word. Is what
Yeah,
you're going
sure.
for.
I've never heard it though until Thane just did it right there though.
Mechanist?
Kind of caught me off guard.
I've never heard mechanist either. I've always heard mechanic.
Or mechanist. Well, because a mechanic and a mechanist are different. Because a mechanic is somebody who fixes.
Oh, fixes, and mechanist is like the
somebody
inventor.
creates. Yeah,
They're an engineer.
engineer. Yeah. So that's Golden Axe. I can't wait to
Yeah.
watch that. I'm not gonna watch it. I'm gonna be completely honest. I don't give a
Yeah.
crap about Golden Axe, nor do I really care much about Comedy Central.
Yeah.
All right, last one we've got. This is the big news piece. That's why we saved it for last. And it's that in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, the live-action movie, the voice of Shadow was revealed to be Keanu Reeves. That's
Yeah.
right. He's going to have guns in this movie, too. Keanu Reeves can't escape the guns. I doubt he's going to have guns, let's be honest. He's not going to have guns. But if he does, it'd be cool.
Yeah. Also, is what's his name? Jim Carrey confirmed to return.
I don't
Stuff.
even know. I thought he said that the second movie was going to be his last movie.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I guess Shadow could just be the main villain. I've never
Yeah.
seen the second one, so I'm not sure how that one ends.
They've had several villains throughout the games,
Yeah.
but none of them as iconic as Dr. Robotnik.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
also, good luck replacing Jim Carrey as him because he did such a freaking good job, in my opinion.
Maybe they could just get the entire Mean Bean machine instead and have, like, Shadow control the Mean Bean machine. Yeah, because I bet Shadow is going to be the villain. Like, that just makes sense. And then, like, okay. I've not seen the second movie, but I'm going to predict the third movie, right? Shadow's the main villain. And the twist ending is that Jim Carrey shows up and attacks him.
He's
And
back
then
for number
He's
4.
back.
And the bio
No,
lizard.
he's back for the end of the movie, and that ends the trilogy because he finally get the last
Oh.
stab at Eggman, and he's done.
And then there's going to be a
After
Sonic.
credit thing.
Yeah, it's going to be like, we're going to do a Sonic TV show on Netflix.
Well, they're doing a Knuckles TV show
on Paramount Plus.
on Paramount Plus.
Okay, never mind. We're already there. They beat
Yeah,
me.
we're already there. Yeah, I was gonna say that after the credits is gonna be like you're gonna see like this glob of slime kind of like creeping up, and it's gonna pop up, and you're like, oh shoot, it's chaos.
It's chaos. And then Amy shows up. Sonic.
How was Amy not already in these movies?
I don't know.
If she's not in this one, I'll be surprised.
They realize she's a bad character.
Not in the Murder of Sonic the Hedgehog. She was
Voiced by
she was
Amy
great
Poehler.
character. She could do it, honestly.
Yeah.
That's not a bad casting if I've ever heard one. But that's all the news we have for today. Let's talk about our seasonal anime. We'll just do a quick these were the shows that we're watching. We'll talk quickly about maybe one that we're super excited about. As you can see, Skylar and I are pulling up our anime list because we are not professional gamer like Thane has memorized. There's actually one more that's not on my list that I plan on watching, but I have not yet started it, and I don't remember the name of it. So we'll see if I end up actually watching that show. Maybe Thane's watching it. I don't know, because I think it'd be a show that Thane would be into, just based on like the looks of it anyway. All right, so I am watching God's Games We Play, Spice and Wolf, Konosuba. I'm continuing Delicious in Dungeon, but I'm technically still like 4 episodes behind because I've not started the second half of it. Same with Urusei Yatsura, but there's only been 2 episodes since. Kaiju number 8, Jellyfish Can't Swim in the Night, Mushoku Tensei, and Demon Slayer, and that's it. But Demon Slayer's not started yet. Oh, but like I said, there was that one other that I couldn't think of, but... What are the shows that you are watching, Thane?
I'm watching Spice and Wolf, Kaiju number 8, a show called Mysterious Disappearances. Yatagarasu.
Yatagarasu.
Fucking Yu-Gi-Oh nerds.
Is that it?
Yeah, I can't remember the rest.
Missing ones I can't think of for some reason.
So much for my praise of you, Thane, saying you'd have it memorized, and Skylar and I are the degenerates who don't. Skylar, what are you watching?
Shut the hell up.
What are you watching, Sky?
I'm missing one that I can't think of for some reason, but I'm watching The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Season 3, Girls Band Cry, Tonobo, Mushoku Tensei, Kaiju number 8. There's one more in there that I can't think of for some reason. And these are ones I have not started yet, but I want to. Konosuba, Spice and Wolf, the Jellyfish one Cole just mentioned. Demon Slayer hasn't aired yet, and then My Hero, because I already got a couple that I'm going to drop. I think the only one that I want to talk about right now anyway, just because you and Thane told me about it, and you're like, yeah, there's a little twist at the beginning, like the first episode, and you're like, oh, it's that kind of show.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know
Others,
what you're talking about.
The two others I couldn't think of. Mushoku Tensei, that's one.
Yeah.
Mission Yozakura Family. And what's the last? Windbreaker.
Nice.
Then there's other shows I want to get caught up with, but
maybe we'll get to them, I guess, huh?
Slime, My Hero, and Demon Slayer. That's pretty much it.
So, Sky.
Also, I'm watching Konosuba.
Yes.
I'm not caught up.
What do you think? What do you think about that show? Just tell us the title, too. I'll let you do that.
Yeah, Kaiju number 8. When I had first seen the picture of the manga years ago, I was like, oh, it's probably like... The first thing that came to my brain was Pacific Rim. It's like
fair.
Giant mech fighting giant monsters from
fair.
space. And the first episode, I was like, wow, they're like chopping up this beast, and I don't know if they use the meat to eat or anything. Like, it didn't really explain.
They didn't
much.
explain that, and I like to hope that they do, just because it just seems nice, and I'd love to try it out, but I don't know.
It's really interesting because that's a big portion of something that never gets explored in superhero movies or movies like with Godzilla. Like, when you kill the big monster, it's dead in the city. You can't just stay there, so it's got to clean it up. Also, all the aftermath.
Yeah, it's disgusting. I mean, like, it just in general it's disgusting, but they really play it up as gross because, like, things are popping and exploding, and
then the guy's like, hey, be careful, that's gonna blow up, and it does, and acid gets on him, and he's like freaking out. But they also have these giant machines that just sit over top of the monster to help him clean it up too.
they got giant saws.
Yeah, it's really dumb that I liked that part that much, but it's like, I never really thought about it in shows prior to this, but then you're like, oh yeah, like that, of course, duh.
So when the manga came out, spoiler alert, it does shift away from that. That's not the focus of the manga, is the cleanup.
I figured after this first episode.
When the manga first came out, everybody was kind of disappointed that they did shift away from that because they thought that was very interesting. But I will say it does still get good, though. I still enjoy it from here on out.
Yeah,
but
it's definitely like I can kind of guess what kind of show it is now based upon what happened in episode 1, which I don't want to spoil it for anybody.
Well, okay, we're gonna do a quick spoiler because I do want to talk briefly about it.
Okay,
I
have not seen episode 2 yet, by the way.
Okay, just go ahead and double tap the phone like 3 times to skip ahead. All right. So, what show did it remind you of?
Oh God.
It reminded me of the book The Metamorphosis because the main character is named Kafka.
Okay, I don't know if it's as obvious as I was thinking it was.
Are we thinking of an anime?
Anime, yeah.
Where the guy basically becomes what he's fighting. Have I seen it in recent
You literally
times?
worded it perfectly, too. How do you not know it off the top of your head?
Attack on Titan.
Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody read the manga and was like, oh, it's just Attack on Titan. Okay, cool.
I guess I don't know if he can de-transform or not. I don't know that
I guess
yet.
you don't know that,
and
do you?
In my head, I guess Attack on Titan didn't come to my mind because he can.
Yeah, because you can
turn
go
it
back.
off.
It's funny because there's another manga I'm reading right now called like Strawberry something. Strawberry Flower, Strawberry Kiss, or I don't freaking know.
Wild Strawberry.
Wild Strawberry. Thank you, Thane. And that one also is very Attack on Titan like because you can turn kind of into what he's
and
fighting.
Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man as well. Now you pointed out. Good call. But yeah, so yeah, it's good, but like you see things and you're like, okay, I know where you got your inspiration from.
Oh, so it's kind of too on the nose.
Sometimes, but after a while, it goes so far away from it. All right, you can done tap. You this is where your phone supposedly, hopefully tapped too, because we're done talking about.
You're
spoilers
straight up
now.
Honestly,
gamer
it's pretty
if you
dumb
did.
if people were disappointed that it kept on it after the few chapters. It's like why would it stay on there? It's
Well, what if they did an entire manga on like cleanup
Yeah.
of dead
well, they
kaiju?
did B sides, but that's more about the side characters who kill the kaiju. I guess you could do C sides.
Yeah, I bet people would be into that.
I think it's really cool for world building, but to build an entire story off of it and have 200 plus chapters of manga about
I think it's
that,
doable. I
You
definitely think it's doable. Maybe not 200, like a shorter manga, but
yeah,
I think it's doable.
Yeah, I think a shorter one, but let's be honest. When people write manga, they want the longevity of it. They want a freaking One Piece, don't they?
I don't know. I
Sounds
kind of
like a
like
slice
short
of life
ones.
comedy.
No. Writers specifically, like writers and publishers. Yeah, I prefer shorter ones too because you get a really good condensed story instead of a stretched out Demon Slayer final arc.
Yeah,
90 chapters.
they probably do want long ones, don't they, to
More money.
get money. I'll quickly talk about my show briefly that I'm talking about today, and it's that jellyfish can't swim in the night or something like that. I don't know if I said it exactly right, but this show's a vibe. Like, I hate using the word a vibe to describe something, but that's like one of the perfect words to explain
Well,
it.
I watched you watching it. I'm like, wow, this looks like a vibe too.
Yeah, the animation's really good. The characters are actually pretty fun, and they got good chemistry. Episode 2, I've not seen 3 yet, but episode 2, really fun interactions. And I was like, yo, this is kind of cool. I'm into this. It's fun. It's chill. Like I said, the animation's really pretty. They got some good neon colors. It's if Call of the Night was a good anime and not a terrible plot. And it looked good, you know. It's that. Maybe it doesn't look as good as Call of the Night, but very similar vibes, I would say. Granted, okay, never mind. Disregard everything I said about Call of the Night. I just wanted to get a jab at Call of the Night for no reason.
Yeah.
I have no idea why I said that.
Say that just needs to be like our
Punching bag?
yeah, just every week we'll just take a little shot at Call of the Night.
Yeah,
just to remind people that what they like is bad.
I feel bad for even bringing it up because they're not very similar. They got colors that are the same. That's about it. Because, like, I was going to say, this show's set at night, but no, it goes in the daytime, too. It's not always just set at night, but they do have nice neon colors, too. But Call of the Night sucks.
Yeah, it definitely sucks. Sorry. Well, no, not even sorry. If you like Call of the Night, I mean, cool, but why?
Yeah, so jellyfish
And
can't swim in the night.
vampire
Good
titties.
stuff.
They're not even that big. Not that I like big
Vampire
boobs.
ass.
I'm not a buck guy. You're
Missing
here,
out,
folks.
Missing out. All right, Thane, what is the show you want to talk about?
Don't panic.
There's this
Keep it
show
together.
called Mysterious Disappearances. I'm not even sure if it's good yet because it's only 2 episodes. But the main protagonist they gave her like the biggest titties.
Oh, is that why you're watching it?
I guess.
So you
It's
don't
like
know
it's
much
not-
about it. Just there's
like-
big boobs.
It's like they don't even emphasize the jiggle or anything. She just has like I think the manga artist decided, yeah, big boobs.
Make
That's
money.
it. Yeah, but other than that, the show was pretty tame. It's just about, I guess, people who disappear, but that's not even it. It's about a cursed book where that the girl uses to be young, because she used to be a writer, and she curses herself to be young.
Is she like really, really old or something?
No, she's like in her 20s.
Oh.
Because, well, back when she was like a kid, when she was a writer, people paid attention to her writings. And then when she's adult, people were like, wow, your writings suck. And it's like, maybe if I was a kid again.
They'd read the writings.
Yeah, they read my book.
Do you like it so far after 2 episodes?
It's okay. It's not the best thing I've seen.
Are you going to keep with it, you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have many anime.
I have a question for you guys real quick before we move on. Do you have shows where you're like, oh, I'm kind of tired. I'll just throw it up and pass out?
I can't
No.
do that because they're in Japanese.
See, I have some of those shows where I'm like, I guess I have one where I'm like, I don't really like the show that much, but like I'm caught up on everything else. I know I'm going to fall asleep during the episode, but I'll put it on and see how far I go.
If it's in Japanese, I pay too close attention to reading so I don't fall asleep. If I am falling asleep, then I know I just need to drop it. That's what I do.
All
Yeah,
right,
this
you know
one's
what?
getting dropped.
The show I like is Spice and Wolf.
Okay.
Yeah.
Spice and Wolf is fun. I like it too. I'm like 2 episodes in so far.
She has a nice butt. She is naked.
A wolf. It's a wolf thing. It's a wolf.
Does she have nipples or is it just like the hair thing?
Yeah, it's the hair thing.
It's the hair thing.
In the original, they didn't even do the hair thing. They just didn't draw her nipples.
Just slicked right off.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the B-Stars conversation.
Yeah, I was actually gonna throw that out. We had the B-Stars conversation.
Yeah, but
where
she looks more human.
those
watch
B-Star
B-Stars.
animals look pretty human.
You ever seen a bunny with boobs?
The Lola.
Doesn't that do something for you?
No.
Liar. You're a liar.
Liar.
It was him. It was Colonel Thane in the billiard room with a lolly.
What?
Bunny with a bunny. A bunny lolly.
Well, speaking of animals, I think it's time we start talking about Odd Taxi. Unless you guys wanted to say something else before we move into the...
I think Thane and I are going to get into a fist fight if we keep going.
I had to stop the animal talk to start more animal talk.
Yeah.
But this show's not sexual by any means. Like, there's pretty much zero sexuality in Odd Taxi. Which is good, because who knew you can have a good story without having jiggle physics?
Well, there is one guy who's horny, but we'll get into it.
He just want companionship.
He's more in
He's-
love.
He's not wanting to get wet. He's trying to look for the
He
companionship.
just
Yeah.
wants to get married.
And like, I can understand that.
I think everybody watching can understand too.
All right,
Yeah.
Odd Taxi. Let's briefly talk about it. This is the show that I picked. I had watched it previously, so this is a second watch through. You two had both not seen it before.
Correct.
So Odd Taxi is about a guy named Otakawa. He drives a taxi, surprisingly, and he gets into so many different hijinks by driving this taxi. He meets so many different people. All these different people are somehow connected in the story, which is really fun. And we get to see the hijinks ensue. And by the end of the show, we see what falls into place and how Otakawa gets out of these hijinks that he's in. It's a murder mystery. It's a mystery in general. It's a keep you guessing kind of a show, keep you questioning things, making you want to keep watching so you could get all the answers you can find.
Well, real quick, because I know I'm going to forget if I don't bring it up now, but isn't what Arakawa does make him an accomplice? So, like, shouldn't he get arrested too?
No, I think he'd be okay. I think he'd get out of it because he specifically said, "I'm your taxi driver. Like, I'm running the meter. Like, you tell me where you want to
So
go."
He's just doing his job, but instead of being willfully ignorant, he's in on everything.
Totally,
he just
totally.
knows.
And so, like, in a court of law, I don't know how it is over in Japan, but I think in America, like, he'd probably be able to get away with a good lawyer.
Yeah, I think you're right, because he is getting paid. He's literally just doing his job.
Tire Salt, Better Call Saul.
I don't know if Saul's a good lawyer. I've seen Breaking Bad enough to know.
You never watched Better
He's a
Call
good
Saul.
bad lawyer.
I know, but that's the prequel. I've seen the sequel, so I know that he's not that great of a lawyer.
He's a
Well-
good bad
well-
lawyer.
Well, there's a few scenes in the future, so you don't know if he gets better.
And you'll probably never watch.
I'll probably never watch it. Yeah, so that's the gist of Odd Taxi. From here on out, full on spoilers. By the way, I don't know if we mentioned that earlier, but we're spoiling the entire show at this point. So the very first thing I want to talk about is the biggest spoiler of the show. What did you guys think of the twist at the end that they're not actually animals?
I picked it out earlier. I can't remember what episode it was.
There was a flashback where it showed humans looking things like, why do they look human? That's weird.
Yeah, I know the flashback you're talking about.
Yeah, I didn't even pick up on that.
That was, it's near the end. It's like the third to last episode.
Oh,
You
okay.
see like human shapes, and you're like,
Yeah.
why are they human shapes?
So I picked up on it when, and I already talked to Cole about this. It was when Otakawa was talking to the doctor, and he mentioned to the doctor that he looked like an ape, or was an ape.
Or
I can't
gorilla
remember.
or whatever.
Yeah, I can't remember the exact wording, but then the doctor, he laughed. He's like, "Haha, an ape or gorilla,
Yeah.
whatever." And I was like, "Oh," and then it clicked because he. The doctor and then the alpaca girl, I can't remember her name.
Shirakawa.
Yeah, Shirakawa. They're talking about Otakawa and what's going on with him, and he's taking drugs. He keeps going to, I guess it's not therapy, but it's kind of like therapy.
Trying to make it so he can sleep, essentially.
Yeah, pretty much. And I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, this guy.
Well, that scene you're talking about, almost like the very next scene, Otakawa takes Shirakawa in his taxi to take her home or whatever, and he mentions to her that she's the only alpaca in town. I would never mistake you.
Yeah.
'Cause you're the only alpaca here. And she's just like, okay. She kind of just was okay with it or whatever.
It's interesting how they kind of dance around it, but also like the characters that he interacts with that care about him are very wholesome, and they're just like accommodating.
Totally.
Which
They'd
I would have
accept it.
been like, alpaca, you freak, take me home.
Well, she knows. Well, he knows. She knows has brain damage.
Something.
Is it brain damage or brain trauma?
I think it's brain trauma.
Yeah.
Specifically, yeah. So, in the end of the show, when everybody is revealed and you get to see what they look like as a human, what do you think?
Very spot on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, obviously, they had to make these character designs to look like the animals. Like, it's pretty a given that that's how they did it. But I also found it very fun still. But just the thought, like, they literally made 2 character designs for every single character in the entire show just to show all of these characters as a human in the last 5 minutes of the show. Isn't that weird? I think that's kind of weird. It's a lot of effort right there.
It is a lot of effort, but it's really, really fun. And thinking about it, I hope they don't make a sequel to this. I hope that's just it.
No, it's the end.
Yeah, it's the end.
Okay.
And the movie confirms that that's the end.
Cool.
So that's why when you said that and I was watching it, they tried to roll over to play the movie. So I was like, what the heck is this movie? And I looked it up and like found out the ending was different. If we want to, we can talk about the ending right now. So in the movie, this is what happens. Just like in the show, the black cat gets into the car. I don't know her name. I'm just going to call her the black cat because that's what she was in the show. So she gets in the car with Otakawa and starts talking with him. And it cuts off the TV show. But the movie continues that conversation. It progresses where she starts to pull a knife out of her backpack and she attacks Otakawa and it cuts to black. The next scene is Otakawa and Shirakawa hanging out. They go to the zoo and all that stuff. And then during the credits, it shows the slideshow of all these different things that Otakawa and other people are doing. In one of the slideshow pictures, you see on a TV that Black Cat Girl was arrested for attempted murder. And Otakawa did get hurt. It did get, like, I imagine, sliced.
Well, not only did they say attempted murder, also that
She killed the other one.
Yeah.
Girl.
So all that was kind of like revealed and settled.
Speaking of which, like just talking about the whole animal thing, do you guys remember when Otakawa was driving the manager and then the calico cat, and he kept saying like,
Yep.
I've seen that calico cat before. I can't remember how he reacted. If he was like, what are you talking about?
No, it wasn't the calico cat that he. Oh, yeah. He did see that before because it was his friend.
No, not the dating app. I'm saying the fact that he called her a calico cat in the car. Did the two characters in back react to that?
Oh, I don't think they reacted to that.
Okay. I can't
But
remember either.
That same scene's very funny because, like, Calico Girl says, man, you kind of would kill somebody to get ahead, wouldn't she? And that's like episode 2 that she says that.
Nice.
What did you guys think about the Otakawa talking to somebody in his house?
At first, like they really play it off like it's the high school chick.
Yeah.
But honestly, I thought it was a bird for the longest time because there's a scene where I can't remember who owns the bird. Oh, it's the guy, the video game guy.
Yeah, video
His
game
bird
guy.
dies. I was like, oh, they have pets in this world. So I just assumed that Otakawa also had a pet.
Gotcha. Did you think anything of it, Thane?
Actually, when I realized that when they revealed that, oh, it's just a cat. It's just a real cat, like not like a anthropomorphic animal like the high school girl, but also I realized that the opening also spoils that reveal because during the opening it shows a sliding door with the cat in there, and it slides and then turns. It shows Otokawa's face. It's like, whoa,
Yep.
whoa, that's big spoil. That's like, if you process that, it's like, whoa, that the opening kind of just spoils the whole show, but you don't know that because it's done so well.
There's one thing I caught on my second watch through about this cat that I didn't catch the first time. It's Otokawa's reaction to seeing the cat. The cat comes out, and his reaction is, oh, thank goodness.
You're a real cat.
You're actually a cat. You're not a human being in my house.
Yeah.
How weird, dude. Is that crazy or what? I realized I'm like, dude, homie thought he actually had a person in his house, didn't he?
I think the fact that it wasn't talking back to him was like I guess he could have figured it out because all the other animals actually interact with him.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, sometimes people don't talk to you, you know? Like,
yeah.
who knows why someone's squatting in your house, you know?
So going back to the whole high school girl thing, like, did that ever get resolved?
Yeah.
Who was she?
The girl that got murdered.
Oh, okay. So she was the
Same
girl
girl.
in the band.
The reason
Yeah.
why they just kept saying high school girls because the father, that Don Rago guy, he didn't want her name getting out because she was famous and he's famous. They don't want to have that connection.
And he was the big
Monkey,
boss.
the big monkey mob boss, not the tapir.
Oh, not the tapir?
The guy he was the eraser.
Oh,
yeah.
That guy.
We
That-
don't see him.
The
You see him a couple
Raguoka.
times.
Yeah. The
I'm trying to
Raguoka
think.
actor.
He's
What's-
he's like a
Raguoka?
orangutan almost, like a
Is
monkey
that-
guy.
Yeah.
What scenes
He's
do
a
we see him
mandrill.
in?
He's the yeah.
He talks to the tapir once in one of the scenes. He was supposed to judge the contest, the comedy contest. You see him at the very end, like doing like a press conference because he's talking about his daughter that did die. Yeah, he's the one. He was the one that dropped the search for her too because,
Because he found out she was...
well, not that, other reasons why, because they didn't want her potential career to be in jeopardy. So that's why they replaced the fake one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like if she did come back, then they wanted her to be able to have a career still.
Yeah.
But there's a subtle hint on that, by the way. Like episode 1, the fan guy Amai, he notes, she's dancing not as good as she once was. And then Nikaido just says, oh, she's just tired. No, it's because it's a different person. She's a worse dancer.
That's crazy. I think, honestly, I've seen a lot of, like, murder mystery shows or, like, whodunit shows. This one, man, the fact that they were able to connect literally everyone.
Yeah.
Every scene that you look or see and random people pop up, like Cole brought up to me, this was in hindsight, but Otokawa very early on almost runs over the one guy that has a whole episode dedicated to him losing his freaking mind.
Yeah.
Like, that happens early on, and I didn't think anything
It's a
of
blink
it.
and you miss it.
Yeah, literally. But
Yeah.
everything is so well done and connected. Man, like, the writing is so good. Every episode, like Cole was saying, just sucks you in, and you really have to pay attention to, like, start noticing things. Well, not even that. It's if you're paying attention, pretty much everything you notice is going to come back. It's
Totally.
Like is it Schrodinger's gun or
Schrodinger's. No.
Yeah,
no? That's Schrodinger's
It's
box.
Schrodinger's cat.
shoot, what is it? It's
Chekhov's
gun.
gun.
Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, so good, dude.
Very interesting thing about the murder mystery specifically is you still don't know who did it until like the last 5 minutes of the entire show. You see the whole Nikaido and her manager kind of deal with it, and so you kind of write it off as, okay, whatever, I don't need to know. And you don't think about it until the very end when you see it happening, and she's just on her phone with her mom choking out this girl, and you're like, what am I watching? It's crazy, dude. Oh.
Well, I feel like they do such a good job of diverting your attention because there's so much crap going on.
Yeah.
Like, so you've got the bamboo or that baboon guy who he's like the main villain in the beginning anyway, or at least he had a lot of my attention. Like, him doing his stuff, and then you've got the rap dude, the mob boss guy, where he gets introduced, and you're like, well, who the freak is this dude? And then you also have Arakawa's freaking what's going on with his brain. You're worried about that. So it's like there's so many different things that has your attention. I didn't really think anything of that girl, but looking back, you're like, oh, like the Calico Cat, she hated her. She knew she was a bitch and was very suspicious of her.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, I mean, I don't blame the Calico Cat girl. All of a sudden, this girl just shows up. This is the other one's replacement. She's gonna take her name too.
yeah.
That's kind of weird. There's one very specific thing that I don't understand, and I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it means. But throughout the entire show, from start to finish, you'll see random characters have this pen, this specific pen. It's like, I think it's a mystery kiss pen or whatever. Otokawa's got it in his taxi visor at one point. The main bad guy girl's holding it at the very end when she's talking to her mom on the phone. She's holding it in her hand. Everybody in the show gets it at least once, I'm pretty sure. And I have no idea why. And I don't know what it's supposed to, symbolize. But I know it does symbolize something. People smarter in the comments, please let me know. I've been curious about this since the first time I watched this, and I haven't done enough to, look it up myself. But so if you know, please explain it. That'd be super cool. I think it's really neat, though, because like I said, everybody pretty much gets it at least once in the entire show.
I guess real quick, unless you had something, Thane, I was going to talk about where I thought the show was going in the beginning.
Okay.
Because it wasn't even closed. I thought Arakawa was just this insane evil mastermind that was behind everything.
Oh, you thought he was the bad guy?
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's going to turn out that this taxi driver that hates life
This
is
isn't
actually
Yakuza.
a super villain. He wasn't.
That'd be so sad, dude, especially with that episode of his backstory. I about freaking cried tearing up that my second time through. I was like, oh, freak. Rip my boy Otokawa. It's so sad.
Yeah, I watch shows and my brain likes to just jump to these weird conclusions, which I'm probably like 0 for 50 when it comes to this. But it's like, what if? I mean, it could be kind of fun if it goes that way, just because it never does. But anyway, yeah, I thought that he was like the super evil mastermind. No, he's just a taxi guy that doesn't really like life.
I remember you thought, oh man, what if Goblin Slayer is a goblin? And when
that's another example.
I never thought that because I look at that. It's like I never thought that because one, that guy's like really tall. Like he doesn't hunch over. Like he doesn't have the mannerisms of a goblin.
Not at all. But how exciting would that be? He pulls off his helmet. He's a freaking goblin. He's just killing his own kind.
I wish I could remember all of the different random things you thought.
Yeah, but going forward, now everyone's going to know. And I want to continue to say my outrageous predictions or what I thought because I'm never right. Never.
Goblin Slayer's a goblin. Oh, man.
I like how you said, "Hey Thane, go for Thane. If you want to go first, but then you proceed to continue."
Welcome to my life.
I don't know. I don't know anything. I don't know anything.
I really like the music.
Did I even watch the show? Yeah, I did. I did watch the show.
The opening and the outro are bangers, dude. The only problem is it's like, and then they murdered somebody. Then all of a sudden, do.
I love the saxophone too that kicks in the intro at the very end. Oh, so good, dude.
So I've got two things specifically. One of them can be a conversation. One of them is just a fun thing I liked a lot. When Dobu and Otokawa are in the car and they're starting the job, Dobu's telling about the job. He's like, and we're gonna call it ODDTAXI.
Title drop.
Like silence.
He goes silence. Otokawa just goes, was that supposed to sound cool? It's like it's the name of the show. It's supposed to sound really cool.
It was such a fun way of doing like a fourth wall break with a title drop because that's what it is. Whenever you see a title drop in shows, it's usually a fourth wall break. Yeah. But the fact that they gave it a moment, I was like, oh, that's so good.
It's so good. They play it off perfectly. We all watched it dubbed, correct? I'm assuming.
Yeah.
I think the dub is really good. I think they did a phenomenal job with the directing and the acting as well. All of those actors just killed their roles perfectly, I thought.
Yeah, I agree.
The last actual thing I wanted to talk about, and it's about the monkey guy, Kakiyana. Wow, I don't understand this character at all. Like
I didn't expect him to look like that old when in his human form.
Well, he's like 40.
Yeah.
He's the same age as Otokawa.
He
Anyway,
looks
so
pretty, that's rough for 40.
yeah, he does look
Yeah.
rough for 40. No doubt about that. So Kakiyana, I can't understand his character. I understand his desperation of wanting to get married, but like immediately just going, okay, I'm going to take out $100K or 100K yen loan, buy a fake ring so I can give it to her and just try to trap her into my life. I don't know where he thought that would ever work. Because, like, one, let's say it does work. She eventually finds out he's poor. And then he's got a bunch of debt.
Mm-hmm.
And two, we saw that it didn't work. He's still poor now. He's still got all these debts.
You ever watched the show 30 Day Fiancé?
I did not.
90 Day Fiancé? That's a common thing in 98 Day Fiancé where, like, they get a person to come down and be their fiance, and it's like, yeah, I don't have all this money actually. Like there's this one guy that lied about how rich he was, and then when the chick found out, she's like, "What? You lied?" She was a bitch too, though. So,
And like, I don't know. It's like, I don't understand how anybody could ever fathom building an entire relationship upon a lie. It just doesn't work.
You're a very logical thinker. There's a lot of freaks out there.
yeah.
I don't know,
That's
man.
the problem.
I don't like the show 98 Fiancé, by the way. That just reminded me. It's
Isn't it
TLC trash.
Okay, I was gonna say it's like a sitcom, or not sitcom. It's a like a
Reality.
Reality. There we go. It's stored. Yeah. Okay.
Another thing I wanted to bring up, because it's happened a few times with shows that I've watched, and it always bothers me. But like the mob boss guy that raps when he talks,
Okay. Yeah.
that bugs the hell out of me.
Yeah, I don't
Oh, you
like
don't
it
like
either.
it?
I don't like it.
I-
In Naruto too, like with
Killer Bee?
Yeah, Killer
Yeah.
Bee. He does it. I'm just like, because I feel like you're limiting your dialogue. Obviously, they're trying to be creative with it, but it's like, I don't know. I just don't like it. It feels forced to me anyway.
I personally really like it in this scenario specifically, just because they used it to tell a story. They didn't just use it because that was his quirk. They used it to tell the story. So he does it the entire time, right? Then when things start hitting the fan and it doesn't work for him, he stops.
Yeah.
And even his buddy's like, You're not
rhyming."
rapping. What are you doing? What's wrong? And it's just all like, yo, that's a storytelling moment. You don't get that in Naruto. Killer Bee just does
you
it.
don't. And I thought that was interesting, but also at the same time, I'm like, okay, well, like, what's the point though? Like, he just stopped. What's the point? Like,
It's
what?
it's to show the extra layer without telling you that this guy's scared. He's freaking
Yeah.
out. Things aren't working for him. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna go crazy? Kind of a thing.
It kind of shows like, oh, he's always rapping. Like his mind is always like free flowing or something. Like
He's always on the beat.
yeah, he's always on the beat.
Falls off the beat.
Now he's losing
And
it.
now he's losing it.
I still hate it. I hate.
Yeah, that's fine. I personally, like I said, I do like it because it tells the story and it does it without you doesn't just straight up say, and then the hedgehog guy or porcupine guy got very anxious,
or he just starts to sweat a little.
because that just ruins shows.
Yeah, I will say it is very creative. Like at that point too, and that was when he did stop. I was like, oh damn, like yeah, this guy is freaking out. But like I said, I don't know. Maybe it's because it stands out so much and it just bothers me. I don't know why. Maybe I'll get over it, but
I thought they did a good job with the writing of it though. There was a couple times I was impressed by like the words that they were able to use and chose to use for these situations. But I get where you're coming from. I do think this is one of the better examples of it.
yeah, I agree.
But I understand. It does get annoying, but if it's just one character doing it, I don't really care.
Sure, and he's not in that many scenes. It was like just a couple episodes.
It's like in 4 episodes.
Well, and another thing that they do too, and I noticed a little bit with this, is like sometimes they speak for the guy through a different character just because of the whole rapping thing. I'm just like, well, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a good show. It's just overall, it's a great show. I'm very glad I picked it again. I was a bit hesitant because I didn't know if I really wanted to watch it again. But after rewatching it, I'm very happy that I picked it. I think I watched it a little over a year now at this point. But yeah, it's a phenomenal show. The writing is incredible. the different crossovers between all these different characters and all different situations too. That's what does it for me. Is everybody's in their own weird, crazy situation, and it's like a weird like life is crazy, man. Things just connect here and there in weird, different ways. I don't know. It's really cool. I'd love to see like this show Bible for this story because I think there's some really clever things.
Yeah.
Like, for example, Otokawa's luck. That has to be a constant. He has to just get lucky with random things here and there because they mention it so many times, as well as because we see it happen. Like him guessing the lottery numbers, for example.
Yeah.
It's just crazy luck, and it's a great way to just write off stupid things in stories is by saying, "Oh, he's the lucky guy," But I don't know. It works both ways.
Yeah. Oh, I guess my last thought is the dude that goes freaking crazy, loses his mind over the game. I feel like that's a very real and sad situation.
Oh man,
that has happened to hopefully not that many people, but just because there's billions, probably a lot.
Xbox Live lobbies.
It doesn't help that he had all the extra buildup from when he was a kid.
Yeah, it's like he got dunked on twice.
By Dobu. It was Dobu.
Dobu.
That's who. There was the connection there too. It's insane. There's just another connection. Dobu's just like, yeah, I guess that was me, wasn't it?
Oops, sorry. What was the username?
Ditch 11.
Ditch 11. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like how he shows like Otokawa looks at the profile picture. Yeah, that's him. 1,000,000% that's Dobu. I can see the outline of the monkey
and when
head,
I
the
saw that
gorilla.
at first, I was like, but like, wait, it's the internet. Like nobody uses their real profile picture.
He just uses silhouette of his face.
Yeah.
Apparently that was enough.
But it was enough for the gun guy to be like, just shoots him on the spot.
Well,
like,
Otokawa tells him it's him. He's like, yeah, that's him. And then Dobu does go, yeah. And so he does shoot him.
sure, but like, I guess that guy's a gamer. He should realize that could be anybody, though. Like the what I'm saying is, anybody. Some of our friends have a profile picture of my butt, spread eagle.
Dobu said that eventually he did. That was him. In that
Can't
conversation, he
you get banned
eventually
for
did
that?
say.
It was on Instagram. It wasn't my full butt cheeks.
Oh.
I guess
you
spread,
emphasized
spread eagle. I'm wearing jeans, but like
Okay.
I'm showing my butt to the
Oh.
camera.
Okay.
I guess what I'm getting at is like it's the internet. Anyone can have anybody's profile picture. How many LeBron James?
I honestly
accounts
thought
are
it
out there?
was. I thought when you said it was your butt, I thought it was the picture when you were in the hospital gown. And
He has that too, but that's not his profile picture.
Yeah, you get banned if you put that as your profile picture.
But yeah, Dobu definitely does say he
yeah,
does.
yeah,
He
yeah.
does agree. Yeah, you're
Yeah,
right. That is me. How did you know? Otokawa always is right. Whatever. But
Yeah, that's coming back to me.
it's like, and he was dead set on killing somebody. He was gonna shoot. He was gonna shoot no matter what. Another thing I picked up on this time that I didn't catch was, remember, because Dobu was counting the shots. He didn't get all the shots. One of the shots was the little Daimon brother shooting him.
Yeah, and
that's how we got
He
grazed
pointed
in the
that
leg.
out too, right?
Yep, he does point that out. The Daimon does anyway. And like for some reason, I just too dumb to even realize he pointed out the first watch
Yeah,
through.
because he said that he's like, I'll have to shoot you again.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh,
Yep.
he was one of the shots.
Yeah, and well, like at one point you hear the police officers in the precinct talking about why did that lunatic shoot his gun? It was Daimon. There's so many subtle little like, hey, this is something that's a very key thing for later. Catch it, please do.
Well, and there's something that I always forget when it comes to like Japanese shows, specifically their culture. Because in my head, I'm like, oh, you can just go buy more bullets. But like guns in
No.
Japan is a very no thing.
Yeah, so 6 bullets was all he had.
Yeah, so like I always have to try to remember that because I literally thought that I'm like, oh, he could just go get more bullets. Wait, they're in Japan. Like the fact that he has a gun is freaking crazy in and of itself. That he just happened to dig up because his bird died. It's like, what the freak, dude?
There's so many little crazy coincidences in this show. I won't deny that, but it's what makes it's the little coincidences that make it fun, I think, to watch.
Yeah, and they make it blatantly obvious too early on with how much things are coincidentally happening. Where it's just like it is this kind of show. It just connect the dots, go for the ride. It's really fun.
I find it really interesting and funny that like so early one of the first things that people want is his dash cam footage, and eventually Dobu gets it, right. That's how it gets out of the picture essentially. Now imagine if that manager did get the dash cam footage. right then and there, we know he knows exactly who killed that girl, because he's like, oh shoot, it's that girl that got killed by that other girl, because you're like, oh, you dropped off at this one at this time, what the heck, So just something, such a small little happens to not have beaten Dobu to the punch. If he would have beat Dobu to the punch there, then boom, everything's just unraveled. There's probably a handful of those. Everything gets unraveled if another person beat another person to the punch. But very interesting. Great show. Overall, super, super fun. I think I have it as a 9 in my list.
Yeah, I think I gave it an 8 or a 9 as well. If it's an 8, I'm changing it to a 9. Oh, I haven't even rated it. I couldn't find it on...
You can't put a space between odd and taxi. It's
Okay.
odd taxi, no space.
Did you have to do all caps as well?
No, it doesn't matter. You just
Okay.
if you put the space in, it won't bring it up anymore.
Silly goose.
What were your overall thoughts on the show, Thane?
It's great.
Nice. He's a man of few words.
I think it's good. I'm very happy I repicked it. That's our entire thoughts on Odd Taxi.
I remember watching a Gigic video. Everything he said, I agree.
Oh yeah, I remember because I watched the show, then I watched the Gigic video. It was one of those
remember the
that
joke where it's like this guy just addicted gacha. He doesn't even get. He's just trying to get this dodo. He doesn't even get the swimsuit version.
He just want the swimsuit Toto. Yeah, let us know in the comments what you guys think about Odd Taxi. Tell us what the meaning of the pen is. I'd love to know. It's time to pick our next show. And it is Thane's turn to pick the next show. What do you got for us, Thane? What are we watching over the next 2 weeks?
Yo! Sorry, it's Blue Eye Samurai.
Blue Eye Samurai?
Yeah, not blue-eyed. It's Blue Eye.
Blue Eye Samurai.
Yeah, it's kind of dumb. People point that out. It's like, why isn't it called Blue-Eyed Samurai? Because the main character has blue eyes. But yeah, it's on Netflix. You want to go watch it on other websites, then I won't judge you.
So Blue Eye Samurai is what we're going to be watching over the next 2 weeks. Probably 11, 12 episodes?
It's 8 episodes.
Oh, 8 episodes.
Are they longer?
Yeah, they're a bit longer. One's most of them are 45 minutes and one's 35 minutes.
Okay.
So one of those weird things.
The weird Netflix sizes.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, that pretty much wraps up our show. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you all for watching. Let us know what you think about the show. Like the episode if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel for more every other week, as well as our little reviews at the end of the season. And yeah, that's it, everybody. Have a great life. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Good night.
Or good morning.
Good morning.